Hi guys, Chris here with a great wireless speaker. If you're looking for something that is different, high quality, excellent build, then it is worth a look. This model here from Soundcore, which is called their Motion X600. It happens to be their first spatial audio wireless speaker. And you're probably thinking, well, spatial audio, how is this different? Well, your typical speaker setups, wireless ones, are just left and right, normally speakers, and that just transmits the sound out to you in front of you. However, we've got a Sky driver that is on the top of this particular model. It's full range, and that really adds to the immersion and creates the spatial audio. Now, this model will run for up to 12 hours, and the best part about it is using the LDAC codec. So it is a highly superior codec compared to SBC or AAC. It transmits at 990 kilobits per second, and this is high-res wireless audio certified. Now it's up to 50 watts. We've got 5 speakers in total, full app support, and I'll be running through it all in this video. The build quality of this speaker is absolutely superb. I love it. It's got a really good finish to it. Now, there are no sharp edges anywhere. It just screams quality. So they have a 3D mesh here that's protecting our speakers that are within. So we have 2 woofers, 2 tweeters, and then at the top, what is called their Sky driver. We have spatial audio, and this is a full range speaker too, this particular model there. And you'll see our controls at the top. So we have our power on here, which only takes a few seconds for it to power on. Bluetooth connection, this is for the spatial audio, bass boost, volume up and down. And on the back of it here, we've just got a grill. This is still all metal. And here we have our Type-C port for charging it. So great that they're not using dated micro USB like some other brands, and a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary input there. And along the bottom there, we do have these 4 feet. So overall, really nice build quality. It feels solid. The weight is 1.95 kilos, and we're looking at a runtime of up to 12 hours using the SBC or AAC codec. And here's our app. It's called just simply Soundcore. You don't have to sign up to it. You can skip that and just go straight into it. Once you're paired up, you can control the volume here, turn it on and off, pause and stop your music playback, and then we do have our equalizer settings. So they have their own presets here, which by default it is the Soundcore signature. We've got voice, treble, boost, balanced, and then when you go into custom, you can see you've got your 9 different bands. So all of the frequencies here, you can go along and adjust those. So imagine you want to just boost up the lows a little bit and you want a little bit more treble. So then you just tweak up those highs there and you can save that, which is great. Now, in order to get it in its high-res mode, which of course it's certified for that, you want to use the LDAC codec, which is transmitting at 990 kilobits per second. It basically removes all of that compression you hear when you're using the inferior codecs like SBC or AAC. So you need to go into the settings right here. You go over into the sound mode and you just swap it over there and then it'll turn off, power back on, and that's it. You are then using LDAC. Now there's some other settings in here as you can see. Voice prompt if you wanted that. The auto power off, and there are firmware updates that will come through that Soundcore will push through. So the application, it's simple and straightforward, which is what apps should be. Okay, so enough talking about it. Let's have a listen. So I've got it now at the moment with the spatial audio off. What I'll do is play a track here from carbon-based Lifeforms, and I'll give you a signal, and then I will turn it on. We'll see if we can hear a difference. I know I'll hear the difference, but I've got a lav mic on and another directional, but it's just to give you an idea here. Okay, I can hear that it's a lot more immersive. It really does space that sound out. And of course, ideal listening position would have it in front of me there, not to one side, but it's just for the purposes of the video so you can see the speaker. So the bass boost mode, again, I'm going to test it out with the same track here from carbon-based Lifeforms. So spatial audio off now and the bass boost not on. I've set the volume to 90%. Let's have a listen. So I'll give you that signal when I turn the bass boost on. Okay, it is hard to reproduce that sound because you have to really be here in person with the microphones and things, but you do notice that. And where I like to use it is when I'm listening to music at lower volumes and I find that the lows, the bass there just isn't sufficient. I want a bit more oomph. I turn it on. It's good for that. And it's actually good for if you're watching, say, movies or something, streaming content too, and you want a bit more bass with explosions in the movies and whatnot, then it's great for that. So overall, this does sound really good. Now, you got 50 watts, so it's loud too. It can fill a room with sound, and you can just take this wherever you need to go. So you move to another room, take the speaker with you. Whatever, you're going to go and have a shower, set it up in the bathroom. You don't have to worry about moisture and whatever. Not going to be an issue. And the mids sound really good. The vocals, so I haven't played a vocal track, but if I did, they come through really nice, very crisp and clear. And the big difference for me is not only the tweeters adding to those highs, but it is the SkyDriver on the top because it's full range too. And I think it makes a difference. You do hear it. So when you turn on and you enable the LDAC mode with your listening experience, that is going to change things a little bit. What I notice is you don't have that terrible compression with the older codecs. And the best way to describe it is it makes the audio tracks more detailed. You hear instruments a little better, but I really think the best word is it's cleaner. And because of the Soundcore X600 IPX waterproof rating and its compact lightweight size, you can pretty much take it anywhere with you, like down to the beach, for example. And what about streaming content then? So I've got Amazon Prime Video at the moment with an episode of Mr. Robot. Netflix, YouTube, all of that is in sync. I'm going to do a very quick test here.
To what end, though? Sawing off balls, making protest signs.
It is all in sync with the actors' mouths. I don't see any noticeable delay here for streaming content. So this is another great use for this speaker. You can take it with you, you can hook it up to your devices and use it this way. So this model here to me definitely has an edge over the competition. The build quality, really good, superior to others that are mostly just all plastic. We've got metal on this and it does make it feel really premium. Then the sound quality itself. Not only do we have the spatial audio, which really does add another dimension to your listening experience there, it just spaces everything out and it's different. You can just disable it if you don't want it either, but the LDAC support. And you're probably thinking, well, come on, Chris. Yes, with in-ears, I would agree with you. Hopefully, the LDAC makes a big difference. But in a Bluetooth speaker, you think, come on, just SBC or AAC codec would be sufficient enough. And I was thinking that in the beginning until I tested this out. It's not until you really do hear the detail and how crisp those highs are, you're not getting any of that Bluetooth compression that's coming through at all now because of the high bit rate codec. And the fact that it's high res audio certified does also back that up. The sound quality out of this, even though I gave you that sample there, it's very hard to portray that. You really do need to hear it in person. And everyone that's heard this has been really surprised and going, that is an impressive speaker. That sound quality is something else. So the runtime, 12 hours, up to 12 hours on the SBC or AAC codec. However, when you swap over to LDAC, this is always the trade-off because of the much higher transmission rate, 990 kilobits per second, it does take a little bit of a toll on the battery life. So it's going to really drop it down. It won't be 12 hours anymore. It's around about 7 hours that you're able to get out of this loudspeaker, at least in my testing. So there we go. That is the Soundcore Motion X600, their first spatial audio wireless speaker.